Welcome back to TYT Sports. Ben and Jason here to discuss the 11 quarterback commandments laid out for you by Bill Parcells back in 2007. And these 11 QB commandments, we're going to discuss whether or not they still apply to today's NFL, or is Bill Parcells gone crazy? We don't know. But we broke these up into 3 separate clips for 3 separate portions of the commandments. Let's start with the first 3 quarterback commandments according to Parcells.
Okay, here are the quarterback commandments. Number 1, press or TV, agents or advisors, family or wives, friends or relatives, fans or hangers-on. Ignore them on matters of football. They don't know what's happening here. Number 2, don't forget to have fun, but don't be the class clown. Clowns and leaders don't mix. Clowns can't run a huddle. Number 3, a quarterback throws with his legs more than his arms. Squat and run. Fat quarterbacks can't avoid the rush. Okay, here are the quarterback commandments.
So, Ben, we have ignore the outside football opinions. We have some throw with your legs. Do they still apply to today's NFL?
Yeah, mostly, although I love the idea a quarterback throws with his legs more than his arms. Like, I get that. It's a fun expression.
Right.
They literally throw with their arms. So, no, that's not true. It's just a way of saying, man, the legs are vitally important. Don't forget at it. What does he say? Squat and run.
Right.
So stay in shape, and that you need legs. We know it for pitchers too, but you could have the greatest legs in the world if you don't have an arm. It's
not
totally
good.
relevant. You don't throw more with your legs than your arm. Literally. Throw with the arm.
That's great. Now you still have 5 pens left
Still
on
have
the
3
table.
pens. Dan, I'll take that pen back after the show.
So one of the things I wanted to point out, though, was back in 2007, you didn't really see. Granted, Drew Brees was in the league, and as one of the only 5'11" quarterbacks, small quarterbacks. But now with the Russell Wilsons of the world, that have not of the world, but joined the league.
Isn't Russell Wilson 6'2"? Isn't this a big misconception about Russell Wilson?
Check his height real quick, because I don't know for a fact that he's that tall. But the one thing I wanted to point out was this really applied. The pocket presence quarterback was still the #1 type of quarterback.
He's 5'11" overall.
Right,
Yeah.
5'11". The pocket presence quarterback was the #1 type of quarterback. That was who you wanted to build around, the big Ben Roethlisbergers and Peyton Mannings and Tom Brady's. So that throw with your legs, I think, applied more to them because
No, it still applies.
still applies.
Yeah, sure. He's not wrong. We get what he's saying. What he's saying is that you have to be able to avoid the rush, even if you have to avoid the rush the way Tony Romo was very effective at avoiding the rush. And Roethlisberger, like, they just step up. They move. They're not going to scramble.
Right.
They're not picking up big yards after the run, but they have a way of staying alive in the pocket.
Roethlisberger and Luck are surprisingly fast quarterbacks for their
Well,
max.
Luck is but Luck is a runner.
Yeah.
Roethlisberger, less of a runner than he was, but they both have a keen ability of, I just need to step up here for a second. And again, you buy yourself 3/4 of a second can be the difference between converting a 15-yard pass and sacking, and
Three-quarters of a second in today's NFL is 25% of the time you have in the pocket as it is to make another play.
So I would still say, and what every scout, what every general manager, what every coach wants when they look at quarterbacks to draft is still the ability to throw from the right hash and out to the left side on the other side of the field. And if you don't have legs, you probably can't make that throw really effectively unless you're all arm. But the risk of being all arm is that you end up you're Jamarcus Russell.
If you don't have legs, Ben, you literally can't move at all.
Right. But that said, they throw more with their arms than their legs. Let's not kid ourselves.
Okay. We move forward to the second of the quarterback.
Oh, but by the way, let me just say something too. I love the clown bit. Which is like, it's fine. Those guys maybe even belong on the team, but they don't run huddle. You can have fun, you can joke around, but at least at game time, you're not kidding. Like, these guys have to follow you, and you have to.
And there's more on that in the last half of the quarterback commandments. But let's go on. Let's see the next part of the QB commandments.
Number 4, know your job cold. This is not a game without errors. Keep yours to a minimum. Number 5, know your own players. Who's fast? Who can catch? Who needs encouragement? Be precise. Know your opponent. Number 6, be the same guy every day. In condition, preparing to lead, studying your plan. A coach can't prepare you for every eventuality. Prepare yourself. And remember, impulse decisions usually equal mistakes.
So there's really not too much to debate there. Know your job, know your players, and be the same guy every day is some commandments you'd want to follow. By the way, if you have not noticed yet, I only use Bill Parcells' New York Giants pictures.
I did say that, yeah. By the way, be the same guy every day, And then he says, in condition, preparing to lead, studying your plan. A coach can't prepare you for every eventuality. Prepare yourself and remember, impulse decisions usually equal mistakes. I'm not saying those things are wrong. I don't see how quite they relate to be the same guy every day. They're just things that he also wanted to say. There's no consistency. I like know your players, actually. Of course, that's relevant, but who's fast, who can catch? Like, you see that a lot. I mean, you even see it in pickup games. You're like, oh, that guy's open, but he can't catch. Like, so it doesn't really matter. You know, this is a big moment. Like, you want to include everybody in a pickup game, but you're like, we're down 4-3, we got to score. Like, I can't, you know, I can't throw to Jason. Jason can't catch.
Jason can absolutely catch. He can't shoot.
So I like that. Who's fast? It matters. And as you learn more about what it takes to be great in the NFL, you know, you see the incredible value of when Reggie Bush is open coming out of the backfield, and Matthew McGloin will hit him on the back hip so that he's got to slow down to catch it, and then he gets dragged down, whereas Andrew Luck would hit him leading into that right hand so that he never breaks stride and he maybe scores or picks up another 30 yards, the difference between great and good.
Fair points. We continue on. The last 5 quarterback commandments, according to Bill Parcells.
Number 7, throwing the ball away is a good play. Sacks, interceptions, and fumbles are bad plays. Protect against those. Number 8, you must learn to manage the game. Personnel, play call, motions, ball handling, proper reads, accurate throws, play fakes. Clock, clock, clock. Don't you ever lose track of the clock. Number 9, passing stats and TD passes are not how you're going to be judged. Your job is to get your team in the end zone, and that's how you're going to be judged. Number 10, this is, when all around you is in chaos, you must be the hand that steers the ship. If you have a panic button, so will everyone else. Our ship can't have panic buttons. And the last one, don't be a celebrity quarterback. We don't need any of those. We need battlefield commanders that are willing to fight it out every day, every week, and every season, and lead their team to win after win after win. It looks like Tony Romo was paying attention.
That was Parcells with the Cowboys.
I needed to be subjectively objective.
I got you.
To be fair to the audience.
That stuff was all fine, too. Throwing the ball away, a good play. You know, sacks, interception, fumbles, bad play. Although, you know, sometimes throwing the ball away is too big a risk. You can take the sack, too.
That's true.
But also, but don't take the sack when you're on the 34-yard line. It pushes you back to the 42, and you can't get your field goal.
That's true, too. The one to get your team to the end zone, I thought was important because it sounds like such common sense. Well, of course, isn't that the goal, Ben, to score points? But, and I'm going to go back to Ben Roethlisberger for this example, because he is a Super Bowl winning quarterback and he's led I'm not sure what the word he's here. It's not a respectable amount of game-winning drives that he is a reliable quarterback. But when they showed his numbers yesterday before the Patriots-Steelers game, or whatever this clip is going up for Thursday's Patriots-Steelers game, I didn't realize that they were on he was like a 21 touchdown average a season guy. And that's kind of an example that I think that Bill Parcells is pointing out is get your team to the end zone. You know, don't worry about racking up the numbers. If the right play is to hand the ball off and get into the end zone, or a screen pass to get into the end zone, or running into whatever it might be, he seems to fit that mold of that get your team to the end zone commandment.
Yeah, I mean, he threw a lot more touchdown passes last year, and he will again this year.
Well, he's more he needs to do that for the team to win now.
And they have so much. The talent they have at the skill positions is so significant now, and their best back is also quite capable of catching a pass and taking it in.
And NFL's leading rusher D'Angelo Williams.
But you know, I like that. Don't panic. Learn to manage the game. You know, that's we hear about that usually in the context of quarterbacks who don't have the talent to win the game with their explosiveness. You hear manage the game. You certainly heard it with Trent Dilfer in 2001 with the Ravens. You hear it with Alex Smith all the time.
When he's on the
manage the game. Yeah. And, well, even now in Kansas City, that's still his job, is to manage the game. But the fact is, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Roethlisberger,
are game managers.
They also manage the game, because part of that is clock, clock, clock. The great quarterbacks don't forget the clock. They don't need to look to know when to call timeout. Like, a great quarterback should never look to the bench about when to burn those timeouts. He should know, hey, we just completed a pass over the middle with 19 seconds left. We have 2 timeouts. It has to go here.
They're thinking plays ahead.
I think it plays ahead, but they also have to understand how long it takes to run a play, how long it takes to get into position, how long it takes for everybody to run 12 yards downfield, how long it takes everybody to run 24 yards downfield, stuff like that. When there's 6, I mean, these are because when the clock is stopped, it goes more to a coach's decision. But when there's 6 seconds left and you're on the 2-yard line, you know, now we're starting to see it better. A lot of you'll hear announcers go, "Oh, you got to kick the field goal now," when there's never been a 6-second play from the 2-yard line. And you don't need, the play can take 5 seconds. You only need 1 second for the last play. You're throwing the ball in the end zone if it's third down before that. Give yourself one more chance if you don't have a timeout. So it's important that the quarterback knows all that stuff. The quarterback should be a coach on the field. They're not all capable of it. Yeah. Don't be a celebrity quarterback, so I'm guessing that Bill Parcells wouldn't like Russell Wilson on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Or Tony Romo. Tony Romo's a celebrity quarterback. Dated Jessica Simpson. He's on the cover of every magazine. He's big on the social media front. The thing with no celebrity quarterback in 2007 is that was probably a achievable.
It's harder to
goal.
do
Today. It's not
it's
as
harder.
easy.
Yeah, and also the biggest. But I don't quite agree with you on Romo. He did date Jessica Simpson. He dated Carrie Underwood. But he doesn't seem to me to be thrusting himself into the spotlight very much. He acts like a guy whose main job is quarterback. Whose celebrity quarterback is Tom Brady, but guess what? It turns out apparently he can handle it. Yeah. Seems capable of handling it.
Good points all
Also,
around.
another great celebrity quarterback, Kirk Cousins. Or as Deshaun Jackson would say, Kurt Cousins.
Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below regarding Bill Parcells' QB commandments. Do they still apply to today's NFL? And if so, which ones? If so, which ones don't apply? You can follow Ben at BenBank77, at JasonRubin91, and at TYT Sports on Twitter.